Alyssa Edwards is in town. Be rude not to. That was shocking. Hey guys, it's your girl Ayesha, and I am here dishing up your Drag Race lowdown. I know it's late, but I haven't been well this week, so I'm just still trying to get over this cold, and I just didn't want this to be any later, so I tried to push it out as early as I can. I'm pretty aware that by the time this goes out, the next episode would already have aired. Probably. But, you know, I'm doing my best. Real quick, if it's your first time joining me, hello, thank you so much for being here. You are in the right place if you are a fan of Drag Race. Make sure that you do check out my playlist, the Drag Race Lowdown, if you missed any of my previous episodes. First things first, do you like my hair? You better, because it took me ages to tease this out. Listen, Alyssa Edwards was featuring on this week's episode, okay? So you can't be talking about Alyssa and not be having big ass hair. So, you know, girl, I tried. Oh, that was a good tongue pop. That was probably the best one. I should have used that one in the intro. So the episode kicks off with a quick look back to last week, and the queens have come out. They've just had their lip sync. Raja won the lip sync, annoyingly. I'm still mad about that, but anyway, so she won the lip sync last week, and it comes to reading Scarlett's message on the mirror. Now, every queen leaves a message in lipstick on the mirror after their lip sync. You know, like, it's tradition, it has been for years. And Raja was like, well, I don't think we should even bother to read Scarlett's message. And I'm just like, girl, listen, you already won when you wasn't supposed to. Like, can we not just drop the attitude and just humble yourself? Like, you're still here. You don't even deserve to be here, but you're still here. So, like, just chill out and read the damn thing. I mean, it's like Vanjie said, Scarlett is still there in the car park, getting into the van, saying her goodbyes to the camera, and Raja is here, just, you know, chatting about her behind her back, saying how, oh, you know, she's too full of herself, rare. I'm sorry, pot, kettle, hello. So for the mini challenge, the girls had to get into their quick drag and get into a potato sack and do a potato sack race, and they had to make it all about the titties. Let me tell you, there was a lot of titty. So in go the chicken fillets. Everything is all hoisted up to here, you know, and they had to do it in like true slow motion style. Titties are flying. Of course, Silky was milking it like no other. She was definitely serving full on chunky breast. I'm pretty sure they actually censored when like her nipple fell out. I don't understand why Silky will only get censored if she is dressed up as a woman, but when she's being a guy, there's no censorship going on, because you know you will see her, you know, going around the workroom when she's not in full drag yet, so she's still, you know, in man mode, and she's got her nipples out. No censoring there. As soon as the wig goes on, oh no, we've got to cover it up. It's the same nipple. We've all got them. Sort it out. This is 2019. This is ridiculous. People who stood out for me in this challenge were Sugarcane, who was just downright hilarious, and she just really just like let herself go. She didn't care. She dropped into the floor, drop it like it's hot. You know, titties flying everywhere. Nina West was putting some serious faces. She looked like she's definitely done this before. And Silky, I thought, was just absolutely hilarious. Now, the winners were Sugarcane and Nina West, and you could tell that Silky was vexed. She was not happy about that at all. Now, the theme for the Maxi challenge was from farm to runway. So they had to take actual food and actual, like, grass and bark and, you know, all these natural materials and make a whole new garment that was like couture worthy, fashion week worthy from scratch. This is actually really quite difficult, and you know, it was a very interesting challenge. Sugarcane, however, was just here for the food. Like, she didn't even care that the stuff was there to make an outfit. She was just like, oh, is that kale? Oh, is that lettuce? Oh, is that, I don't know, avocado? She didn't actually say avocado, but she was eating up that kale like it was nobody's business. Like, you'd think that she hadn't been fed in 10 days. Once again, Raja's there making excuses. Apparently, Plastique stole her bark, stole her material. I mean, there was so much drama over that. And the thing is, I'm not even on social media, so like, I don't get to see all of that drama. So I just happened to see it on YouTube, but like there was all this like back and forth Twitter beef over who stole the bark, and it's just like, oh my goodness. There's so many other like resources there that you could use. Like, so Plastique got a bit of bark, and what? Like, stop barking at the wrong tree and just do something else. So she did. She ended up using burlap to make some pants. We'll talk about that in a minute. What I didn't like was the fact that she was saying how Plastique stole the bark, when apparently Plastique didn't realise that the bark was actually hers, and
when she did, she took it off of her garment and gave it back to her. But apparently it had a bit of hot glue on it, so therefore Raja couldn't use it again. So it wasn't that she stole it, she just took it and didn't realise that it was hers, and she tried to give it back. But Raja didn't say that in professional, so it made it look like Plastique was being a horrible person.
Drama, long. Next. Now, Rue is walking through the workroom and is talking to all of the queens, and is really trying to get everybody to cry. So Rue goes over to Brooklyn and is all like, you know, it's funny you're getting to be known as the design queen here for this series. And she was like, well, actually, back where I'm from, I'm just known as the dance queen. I'm not known as a design queen at all. And Rue was all like, you know, it really surprises me that you're just so like so quiet. I thought you'd be a much bigger personality. And I'm like, oh. So you're just here to just diss her personality? It's basically said that she ain't got one. That's cold. So Brooklyn was basically saying how, you know, she doesn't normally get like emotional and vulnerable because that's how she used to be as a child, and she kind of got red for it, you know, for like crying about everything all the time. So now she just bottles everything up, and then she ended up getting emotional and she ended up crying. I'm just like, they do this just to try and like jab at them, to try and get the tears for TV. And you can see that it's so false and so manufactured. I mean, not saying that what Brooklyn did was manufactured. She cried because she's, you know, conjuring up old memories. But just the way that they ask these questions, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just so over it. Another person that Rue called out for lack of personality was Plastique. Now, I kind of get the point, because, you know, with Plastique, sometimes you do sort of forget that she's there until it's the runway and it's like, oh, she looks nice. But then it's like, what else does she kind of bring to the table? Like, I get that. So Rue was like, so is there something that you don't want us to see? Cue the tears. Now, this was a really, like, touching moment. Like, Plastique, like, full-blown ugly cried. Like, she was a mess. Talking about how kind of, like, sort of strict that things are in her home country, and, you know, about, like, not really having that sort of support from her family, and, you know, like, her family didn't even know that she was even there doing Drag Race. And it was a really sort of hard moment, you know, and I could kind of relate to that, because I know what it's like when your family don't support what you really want to do. So I totally understand that, and I can really sort of connect with that, you know, and I think a lot of people could also connect with that same sort of feeling. Rue comes over to her and gives her a hug, and it's like, you know, I'm your new mummy now, you'll always be my baby, blah, 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 blah. And it's this beautiful, touching moment. It's really, really, really sweet. Cue Raja in confessionals. Oh my day. She's like, well, I find it very funny how Rue can just be talking to her about her lack of personality all of a sudden, and then she's talking about how she weren't supported in her career and, you know, with her drag and all the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. I'm over it. And I'm like, all right, let her have her moment though. You know, like, this is very, very real for Plastique. Like, what I'm over is the way that they kind of drill it out of them to make them feel so vulnerable and make them start to cry like that, because Plastique obviously doesn't really want to share that because it's a really, really personal thing. And I feel like Rue kind of just like dragged it out of her for TV, you know. And yeah, they have this really nice heartwarming moment, but I do wonder how that moment ended, because, you know, as Rue has once said before, nothing you say matters unless that camera's rolling. I love the way how when Rue came up to Silky and was like, so who do you think should go home? Silky just turned around and went, well, I think Eevee should go home because, you know, she's hurt and we ain't got time for that. I'm sorry, what? Eevee has a condition which she was born with. Like, so you can't take that out on her and just say, well, you know, she's got that and we ain't got time for that. So, you know. Right. The only reason why she's saying that because she don't like her. They both don't like each other. Their personalities clash big time, okay? They hate each other. They then get told that they need to do a whole sort of like very countrified number. Do some good old-fashioned country line dancing and, you know, just making a general hoo-ha fool of yourself. And who better to teach them how to do that than Miss Alyssa Edwards herself. So she is there and, you know, the queens are absolutely living for this moment. And I didn't realize, but she is Plastique's mama, okay? She is her drag mama. So, you know, Plastique is obviously living for this moment, you know, because she's had the mummying from Rue, and now Alyssa is here for her, which is wonderful. I'm pretty sure that Raja was seething at this point. Alyssa was basically showing them all how to catwalk, basically, and just how to really sort of like sell what it is that you are wearing, and also to sell your personality. And, you know, I actually picked up a few little tips from this, you know, if you don't mind me saying. I love how Eevee turned out and she went over the top. Like, I ain't seen her do all this bendy stuff on the runway, like not to this extreme. Like, she was pretty much folding herself in half and doing all sorts of nonsense. And then she ended up in the splits, and, you know, like she was going crazy. And Alyssa was like, oh, you know, what's that blue tape on your foot? And Eevee was like, well, you know, I did sprain my ankle, but I just wanted to show the other queens that, you know, even though you're injured, you can still push through the pain as long as you're not pushing your limit. I was like, ooh. And then she went and sat back down and she goes to Silky, send me home because I'm injured. Brilliant. I'll tell you one thing's for sure, Plastique definitely had a fire lit up her ass when she came out onto the runway, because, like, I ain't never seen the girl have so much confidence, you know. I really think that kind of, like, that's what I'm looking for, mothering from Rue and from Alyssa as well, to get together, like, on the same day. I think it was the same day, but, you know, at least within the same week. It just gave her the oomph that she really needed, and she was doing everything. You know, she was there cocking up her foot on the back of the set. She was there doing shablams on the floor, and it's like, we ain't never seen you do that on a runway before, girl. So the country line dancing, that took place on the main stage. Now, obviously, due to Eevee's injury, she wasn't about to go and start dancing up and down the place, but she did very, very well sitting on a stack of hay, playing the violin. In the craziest way possible. Like, she looked like proper country bumpkin and then some. And I kind of couldn't take my eyes off her because she was just really, really giving it. Even though she was just sitting down, but she was just really, really selling it. Like, I'm totally living for Eevee. She's one of my favorites. Everyone made a real effort to look a hot mess. I know that sounds bad, but it's true. Like, they were like blacking out their teeth and just, you know, just like everything just kind of like hanging out, and it just wasn't, I don't know, they just looked a little bit on the messy side. I don't know whether people in, you know, them country parts would be offended, but, you know, it is what it is. That's how they portrayed them on RuPaul's Drag Race. Brooklyn Heights, she just still looked beautiful, you know, and it kind of stood out here because everyone else made an effort to not look that great, and, you know, she did. She just wanted to still look sparkling and beautiful, which is lovely, but not quite right for this challenge. People who stood out for me in that part of the challenge, I reckon, are probably Eevee and Nina West. Like, Nina was giving it all the face for me. Raja, for me, was like nowhere to be seen. Like, I actually forgot that she was there. Same with Akira as well, actually. Like, kind of sort of faded into the background for me. But yeah, it was interesting. So now we come to the runway. Now, Rue was serving us some delicious chocolate sequins, which I was absolutely living for. She looked absolutely stunning in that. It was a sort of like asymmetric cut, which at first I was a little bit like, but then I noticed that it was supposed to be that way, and then I was like, okay, no, it is actually a beautiful dress. So yeah, loved that. I'm not going to talk about everybody because, as you know, we ain't really got time for that. So I'll tell you my top three and my bottom three. One of the ones that were in the bottom for me was Silky Ganache. I did not like her chili con carne looking outfit. it just looked like exactly that. It literally looked like chili con carne, because she literally stuck beans all over her two-piece. I suppose what she had on her side was the fact that she didn't have to have everything like properly hemmed, because, you know, she did use burlap, and burlap frays like anything. So, you know, that's kind of more her style when it comes to making something. One of my tops is Miss Eevee. I loved her look. It was very colourful, very Hawaiian, made her look very long. I loved the red finger wave hair. I loved her makeup as well. I thought she looked beautiful, and I think that she carried it off very well down the runway too. Probably one of her best looks this season, I think. Another top for me was Miss Brooklyn Heights. Oh my goodness, I loved that denim outfit. That was gorgeous. Like, that was really, really nice. She just looked like perfectly hanging curtains, you know, but like in the nicest possible way. I love how she incorporated the slices of orange throughout the whole outfit, you know, earrings on the actual dress, the purse, you know, the massive purse. She comes in, purse first, welcome to the room, purse first. I loved the orange in her hair as well. No, I thought she looked beautiful. I really, really liked that. And then she gives us all a little treat by giving us a very slow spin and accidentally, on purpose, letting the back of the dress slip just to reveal about 1.5 inches of crack. Thanks for that. Now, unfortunately for Akira, she had to come out directly after Brooklyn, and she ended up being one of my bottoms. Akira's denim look was just not the one. I know that the dye for her burlap didn't quite work, so she had to, like, last minute change up her look. This one for me looks really rushed, and it probably was, to be fair, because she's probably flapping about it. It had no bling on it, and, you know, Akira's all about the bling. She's a pageant girl, you know. The wig was questionable for Akira, and it just, her shoulders were like up to here, and so she's walking and like she just had no neck. Like, you really lost her neck, couldn't see any of her arms. Like, it was just, I just really didn't like it. I don't think it suited her at all, which is such a shame, because every look normally I'm living for with Akira, but no, you were in my bottom, girl. I don't know how I managed to do this, especially how I managed to do this in time, and especially whilst I've been so ill this week, but I did actually manage to get hold of Raja's actual outfit from the runway, and it arrived today. I've actually got it here. Michelle said it, and I concurred. She looked like Groot. She really did. So the burlap pants that she kept on bigging up, you know, man, she did not shut up about these burlap pants. And they were all like ripping up on the sides. The hair, she had some really hefty green plait coming out of her head. You know, she had some bark on there that, like, she just looked like a treat. She just looked like Groot. I'm sorry. That's just what she looked like. She was my third bottom. And my third top has got to be Miss Plastique Tiara, because that did look absolutely stunning. Yes, we know it's another corset, but she made it work for her. You know, she knows what her silhouette is, and she knows what's going to make her look the best, and she did look absolutely stunning. This is something that I definitely would wear. I really did like the shades of red with the browns, and I thought that she wore it very well, and she carried it down the runway beautifully. Raja and Akira had to lip sync, and thankfully Raja went home. Hallelujah! Oh my goodness, I am so glad that she is gone. However, I watched Untucked straight afterwards, which normally I forget to do. But I watched it straight afterwards, and oh my goodness gracious me. So, Plastique, her boyfriend, had a message for her, which they wheeled in on the big TV. And she's there, you know, and she's bawling her eyes out, and she's having her moment, you know, and this is also wonderful for her. And the boyfriend says how, you know, all your friends are here and they're also proud of you, you know, and I know that your family are really proud of you as well. I know that in the beginning they didn't really understand about your drag and everything, but, you know, just know that we're all here to support you, blah, 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 blah. Akira just hears the tail end of, and your family are here to support you as well. Runs off to Raja and says, there's some inconsistencies in Plastique's story, because, you know, what what she's saying ain't what he's saying. And Raja wasn't even listening to what was being said. She wasn't even watching the video. She was too busy trying to listen to her music because she knew she was about to lip sync, right? Raja took it upon herself to go over, watch the rest of the video, turn to Plastique and be like, well, obviously they're just trying to get you up to the top 4 because you've had the mothering from Rue and you've also had Alyssa come in for you, and now you got this message here from your boyfriend. Like, what the F is up with that? And she proper like went off on her, and I was like, oh my God, girl, calm down. A, it's none of your business. B, like, you don't know which part of her family that her boyfriend was even referring to. He could have been talking about her cousins, you know, and Plastique could have been talking about her mum and dad in the workroom. You have no idea. Who are you to come up in her face like that and try and just like tear her down when she's in the middle of having this really emotional time? Like, everyone gets their moment, like, chill out. So that all really kicked off. And, you know, Plastique is trying to remain as, you know, pageant as possible and being like, I'm really, really sorry that you feel that way. You know that you are my sister and I really apologise for you feeling that way. And she don't have to apologise for nothing, do you know what I mean? End of the day, it's her story and let her live it and tell it her way. Akira just sort of like tiptoeing over and saying, oh, well, what he's saying ain't the same as what she's saying. Oh, and then she sort of like backs away and then just there, just stirring the pot, just watching. I'm like, girl, you did that on purpose just so that you could throw her game off and that you could win the lip sync. Even though she might have left her a beautiful note saying, girl, you are my sister and I hope that we continue to grow closer to the end. It was a choice between her or you, and you were not going to go home, Akira. So you did what you had to do. I see you. There we have it, my darlings. That is the end of your Drag Race Lowdown for this week. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you do watch Drag Race, then please do feel free to comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the episode. If you don't watch Drag Race, I hope that you found this at least mildly entertaining anyway. If you do like my content, then please do leave me a big fat thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss the next video. Take care, my darlings, and I will see you all soon. Mwah. Bye.